Can we start at the first slide? It's actually the last. Thank you so much, Jan, for the introduction. It's a real honor and pleasure to be here with you all. I see lots of people from a business point of view, from scientific point of view. I see startups around the place, large IT integrators. What a great crowd you've gathered here today. Compliments for that. And I think it's very exciting that we can talk here about the future of education and blockchain. I have a few more minutes between the lunch, so I will keep it short. To tell you a little bit more about this Dutch blockchain hackathon thing, which we did in February 2017 this year, and we are planning the next one for April 2018. So, I mean, I don't have to explain here that we're going to reorganize the way we distribute trust and we handle trust in our society in a completely different way. And what we've learned as a company when we started in 2010, that when you collaborate in consortia with large networks that also interact with other large networks, that you need a completely different approach. And it might be even worth to consider losing business models. So nobody is an expert here, I would say. Everybody is new, and that's why we like to see and have a look at what's different from the way we used to innovate and collaborate, so to say. I would say it's more like a competition, the way we organize society. But we're moving to more or less like an ecosystem where we are highly collaborative networks, not competing for money, but who can impact the lives of 1 million or even 1 billion people. That's the new billionaires, I would say. So where to start from there, because we're living in this world of today. And that's where we like to make a lot of fun and organize this ecosystem-driven innovation surroundings, this place to innovate together. And so that's where we have all the stakeholders you can think of. Maybe I forgot a few here, but there's a lot of them here. To collaborate, and it's more like an exploration you do together. And the hackathon can be a very good way to do that. So we have 3 phases in this. There's a preparation phase, so you can prepare as an ecosystem. Then you work towards the momentum, which is an epic 3-day hackathon with about 500 people. Next year there will be 200 more. Who was there? All right, that's awesome. And then you have all these great solutions, and then you want to take them further if that's possible, if the team is ready for that, and if the solution is ready for that, and that's why we have this acceleration program. So last year we started at ING with a kickoff conference. We had a technology deep dive at Exact, where we had Gavin Wood from Ethereum as well. And we did, this was very humbling because it's where the corporate and the government professionals were pitching to the startups, which is the other way around. And then it turns out to be pretty exciting for them as well. So, yeah, and then we had this hackathon, and I want to give you a little taste of how that was.
Go!
Biggest blockchain hackathon ever in the world.
So we come at a time where blockchain has an incredible potential to deliver change for the good. And at that time, you are organizing this hackathon.
Collaborate, share, connect. I think that's an important challenge.
These people are going to change society.
There's this steep learning curve, but once you get it, then you can see all the potential, and it's really amazing.
And I think what's really special about this weekend is that there were so many teams and so many bright people that there really is the possibility that some of these things can get to that next level.
You could think of it as sort of the next generation of internet. Working with blockchain is about how do we organize trust in the system.
I can see many applications myself, but there are a few here that I hadn't even thought about. So clearly the sky is the limit.
And it's fun when you see that moment where it's just like, oh man, this is gonna change everything. And you can tell because they get really excited.
Our head is like, oh, we could do this. They all want to change the world, and that's amazing. It is.
Why not blockchain? That's the real question.
I'm really impressed by the drive and the creativity.
This is just the beginning. Now we have a number of great ideas, and now it's the time to bring them forward.
Big first little step for a big transformation. Yes.
We now have the chance to think about how do we want to interact with each other? How do we want to live with each other?
Why? Because it's the right thing to do, right? It's exciting to sort of help to seed the next set of innovators.
So that's the energy of the 3 days of basically hacking new prototypes. I think it's very important that all the ideas and visions that they crystallize in tangible prototypes where you can click on stuff and where you have tested the technology, if it should be Hyperledger or Ethereum or Bitcoin. Nice one about Bitcoin, by the way. Then it's also okay to fall asleep from time to time, of course. So a couple of things that came out of it, I'll run by them very quickly for time's sake, but you can see that this third one is actually pretty interesting for certificate stamping on the Bitcoin blockchain. But you can see in all kinds of fields that there are very tangible prototypes where you can take it further to the next level. We have some key ingredients that we think that the approach takes, that it builds the momentum really well. So we have this open ecosystem, anyone can join. It's all based on motivation and not on deep pockets. We have both public and private partners working together. We have a tailor-made canvas, I will show it to you, like the business model canvas. And we have an appreciative approach. So you might know the Dragon's Den way of judging teams. I don't really think that's helping anyone make progress, so we have a different approach to that. And we have a rhythm. Each year we have preparation, momentum, acceleration, and we are going to do this for a couple of more years, of course. As I said, there are not any tickets for sale. So this is the hackathon conference. It's open. It's an open model, and it can help you when you work on a prototype for a blockchain. It can really help you get away from the computer and really think with your team on what you're actually doing and why, and what the effects are, and what you need. And you need to ask these questions, and we of course guide the teams with that. And it's an offline thing, so we want you to get off the grid and then work offline to reconnect, basically, because that's a really important thing. So this appreciative approach is embedded in the whole program. Also when judging the teams, again, this is more like a dialogue instead of a judgment thing. We have a global reach. Please note that this was the pilot year, but teams went to South by Southwest, to Dubai, and to Consensus to show their solutions to a larger audience and also connect on that level. For instance, the refugee team from IBM, they had an opportunity to connect with their CEO at South by Southwest. I mean, that was pretty awesome. We recently landed, this is my 1 minute call, yeah. We recently landed EU funding for 3 more years. The next season is in full preparation. We're going to start on the 28th of September at the Hall of Knights at the Ridderzaal. There are still 1 or 2 seats left. We have speakers from World Food Programme, Ethereum, IOTA, etc. So if you want to join up in this ecosystem, you're more than welcome, and I'm proud to say that we host the largest blockchain hackathon in the world in Groningen. Thank you very much.